going to apply Jade quartz. It's our premium band. It's a little more viscous. It gives you a very thick viscosity, thicker layer. But what you do first is go through. Very easy to see because it's much more viscous than most other people's applications. So I go through horizontal. I overlap.
How important is the applicator roller?
Any applicator will work. This is just much more convenient. What happens with our material is you can use just about any other applicator, even the terry cloth here, because it will actually go out and level because it is so viscous. So go through, apply a little more on. This is straightforward. This is what you do with most every other one. But just make sure you're getting it even. It won't show up in the film, but you can actually see this thick layer that I'm putting down. What will happen with other mixtures, because they're not as concentrated, don't have as many solids, you'll see a rainbowing effect. And that's the solvents bleeding out. But with this, there's very little solvents. It's just active material, so you get what you pay for. So go through. Now the entire essence of this is to get as thick a layer as possible. And that's what this technique does. What we're going to do is go through and let it cure. Now this is the most technical part. What we do, the way I check and see if it's, I need my blue flannel. What I do is I go through, I use my finger to really test. I have a light coming in here and I test it with my finger and see how much it's cured. Okay, and so when you first put it on, it's going to feel slicker, more lubricity. As it starts to cure, the solvents evaporate out, more of the solids on there, you're going to come through and it's going to start to drag. And so every condition is going to be different, depends on the humidity, the temperature, and so forth. But in Colorado, we really have a dry atmosphere, so it might take a little longer here than it would in Florida, where it's got more humidity. So once I go through and I see this, and today we've been waiting about 2 to 3 minutes. It's still not quite cured yet. So basically we've let this cure about 2.5, 3 minutes. And so we come back through, and what I'm doing is I look at this and I go, okay, it's starting to set up, but it's not completely set up. So if I went through with a really aggressive towel, like a microfiber, what's it going to do is remove a lot of the goodies. We want it to stay on there. So what I've discovered is this towel, and what it does is you very lightly go over with the towel like this, and I'm just evening out, and this towel will take out very, very small amounts. So I go through like this, and I'm just leveling, not taking stuff off, I'm just leveling it out. Okay. Okay. So once I get it over like that, I let it sit a few more minutes. Then I come back and lightly wipe it with no pressure, just wipe lightly. And what you're doing is you're helping it harden, air dry, that top surface of it, okay? So I go through like this with light, quick strokes. And I am not putting hardly any pressure, just enough pressure to keep the towel level with the surface that I'm working on. So I go like that, okay? And if you feel the towel, you can feel that there's very, very little dampness. We're targeting on very little. So then I go through like this. And the whole idea is quickly and evenly wipe with very little pressure. Now I'm getting this magnificent thick film. And the difference in this and other materials out there is the thicker the film, the better it's going to last, and also the better shine. And the shine of this is just improving. This is this truck is 8 years old. So I go like that, and I can just keep leveling. Don't think about taking it off. Thinking about just leveling it. Now, what we do is, once this is on, I want you to go through and look at it. It's curing. Because this towel is inefficient for taking it off, it's leveling, you're going to have some residue left. So this is when you come back with your suede, which will be in our kit. You come through like this. And make sure you get any of the small amount of streakiness. So what we're showing is a technique where you're using a substantial product, putting on a thicker film, and not much more difficult than putting on a thin film, wiping most of it off, and getting a less thick film. Okay, after we've done this, put on a great coating. It's nice and thick. We've only put one coat. You can put 2 coats on if you want, but this one coat is probably close to 3 or 4 coats of the other type of material that you will see on the market. What we're going to do now is put a finishing coat on. What we do with this is we use it after we put it on, put a light, thin spray evenly. It's all about evenness.
What's it called?
Reboot. And once we get it on nice and evenly like that, you can take a microfiber and use the side that's not very aggressive, go through and just even it out.
And what's the purpose of this reboot?
Okay, it's just another layer of protection, but what we're working with here is the material. We have a hybrid. We've got 2 of the best materials out there for longevity to get this done. And so you have such a heavy, thick coat, whatever, it won't feel quite as slick, okay? Especially because of this one prime material. Now what happens after we go through and do this, you don't need to do this, but when I come back, the chemistry of this only has one of those material that has the slickness in it, okay? So once I get it in, I come back and it's just as slick as can be. Not necessary, but. And so what is this for? Once a month, or once a week, or if you're me, once a day, come back and put this other stuff back on. And there you go. And then you have a finish that is superb. We're gonna put some water on this here in a minute. Okay. What we're demonstrating is the hydrophobic effect of the ceramic coating that we put on, and we also put the reboot on. We're doing this quite soon. If you wait 24 hours and then put the reboot on again, you're going to have even a better effect. But what we do is you put the water on, and when you go to wipe off your water, you're going to have a lot of time to do other things. So.